Hello, everybody. How are we doing here today? I am Sir Random Guy, and we are here, or at least I am just going to be here for this week's episode of the Arena Podcast. How's everyone doing this weekend or today? Uh, as see here, the title on my screen will be called The Empire State of Insanity because a whole lot of New York just happened throughout the weekend. More specifically with the Yankees, the Mets, the Jets, and the New York Giants. Anyways, uh, let's go talk about it. Let's start with the one of the biggest ones. What's up, Anthony? How you doing today, man? Yeah, it's just gonna be me writing solo unless you want to join up. Up to you. I'll send a link. But anyways, everything's about New York throughout this episode for a good, or at least for a tiny bit amount. Whatever it said last night. Oh dang! Oh yeah, Yankees won, man. Congrats, man. Yeah, I guess we'll start. Yeah, we'll just do the Yankees. The Yankees, well, at least this past weekend did, or throughout this past last week, did defeat last week defeated the Kansas City Royals in 4 games, and then now recently, just yesterday, last night, they played their first game of the ALCS against the Cleveland Guardians and dominated there. Just forgot about the score for a minute. I'll check right now unless somebody wants to keep it up check. But anyways, New York Yankees are leading the series 1-0. While yesterday as well, before that game, we also had the New York Mets in game 2 against the LA Dodgers after, a very disappointing a disappointing game 1 for the New York Mets against the Dodgers after not scoring any innings. The Mets came back with a vengeance and defeated the Dodgers 7-3, and the series is tied 1-1. I cannot wait. Come on, Mets, we got to root for you. And now, oh yeah, and the New York Mets and the Dodgers tomorrow will be playing Game 3 at Citi Field, so stay tuned for that. But anyways, let's talk about a very important news thing that happened today. Very important for New York fans in general. That's right. Amari Cooper is traded to the Buffalo Bills. Yes, this is the biggest news that we've seen today for entirety of the state of New York. The Buffalo Bills got themselves a wide receiver 1 in Amari Cooper. Honestly, that trade is overall great for what it is. You have sorry. It's great for Buffalo. That they got themselves a wide receiver 1. They just gave up a 2025 third round pick and a 2026 sixth round pick. So it's not really that much in terms of the value Amari Cooper has. Yeah, he is turning 30, or he is 30. He is at least around that age, but which likely means Buffalo could probably extend him during the offseason. We shall see. But that is a great pickup for Buffalo. This probably just means that Cleveland is kind of done with the Watson experiment. It just feels like the Browns are probably sort of waving this white flag to their season. So now their wide receiver 1 is most likely Jerry Jeudy, unless I could be wrong. Chat, let me know. But anyways, I think definitely in Buffalo win this trade. They get a great wide receiver, great piece for Josh Allen. Meanwhile, for the Browns, again, I think this is just saying their season might be done. They're 1-5 now. I'm not sure. I don't think they believe in Watson as much anymore. Again, you paid $230 million for a man who was going to have the biggest risk of all time, and you were just hoping he would have played in Houston for him. But yeah, no, not great. But anyways, all right, now I could actually talk about the main trade that people were actually talking about, and that is Devontae Adams going to New York Jets for a conditional second round pick, depending on performance, of course. But again, this just feels like Aaron Rodgers and Devontae Adams are back again for the first time since the 2021 season. So, and Anthony, Cleveland really just went, and yeah, they really waved that white flag right there. I was like, it took me a second to see that, but yeah, they really waved that white flag. It just feels like their season's canceled. This is Rodgers' deal more than a Jets deal. Yeah, that's pretty much it. It just feels like this is just more of a Rodgers taking over the entire New York Jets. I mean, this last week, Robert Saleh got fired from the New York Jets after their loss against the Vikings on London, and then their defensive coordinator Ultrich is not going to be the interim head coach moving forward until further notice. Then now they just, although they had a very close game last night against the Buffalo Bills, but it was just, yeah, it was very painful to watch if you are a Bills and a Jets fan. But I mean, for what it is, I'm not sure this is really considered an all-in move, or this is just, it just feels like this is just more of a uh, it just feels like this is a more for move for Rodgers than anything. Just try to pass it to his one of his favorite wide receivers for maybe one for at least for last time. And who really wanted to trade, I'm gonna say I don't know for now, because I mean, one thing for sure, at least the Raiders, what they got benefited from it, that the Jets will pay pretty much the rest of his salary for the rest of his for till the rest of his contract is up. So that means the Raiders, I think, are only going to pay like 11 million, if I believe. I could be wrong, but anyways, okay. Anyway, sorry. Just saw something, but pretty much pretty much this just feels like we're going into now. This is the Jets saying either we have to make the playoffs no matter what the circumstances are, and you're just kind of hoping Ultrich maintain the ship and maybe get them to a 7 seed at most. And yes, I wish the New York Packers best of luck the rest of the year. Yeah, that is true though. But my friend Lightning, if you guys remember, if you guys were here last week, he was here on last week's show, and he had some thoughts. I'm gonna read it to you out loud. But here we go. Uh, I'm happy. This is about Devontae Adams, right? So Devontae going to New York. I'm happy for he's on the Jets. However, we still have issues on run defense, penalties, and missing kicks. That is true, and there are more issues to be solved. Yes, not one wide receiver is going to do it, but for now, I mean, this is at least a great, at least a decent move for the Jets at the moment. See, hopefully, Adams could finally make the difference. The Jets are going to play the Steelers next this upcoming Sunday night. Um, so we'll see how it goes, whether or not he plays. So this is gonna be an interesting game. But anyways, yeah, those are one of the bigger news. Yeah, this is pretty much kind of what New York has been on, and we're gonna have the next season. The next season is coming up, and the next season is coming up. Brooklyn, that's obviously is coming up, but for the most part, and let's just talk about what happened on Sunday Night Football. The New York Giants played against the Cincinnati Bengals and lost. Yeah, I didn't really watch much of that game, unfortunately, because I decided to watch the New York Mets play, and yeah, that didn't go well for me either. But pretty much it just felt like But based on what I've seen so far, the New York Jets just look defensively. They look great overall, at least defensive wise, they look great, but their offense is still going to be very much lacking. They're very much lacking, and I don't know what's going to be their concern this season. I think Brian Daboll, I feel like he should just stay as the head coach for next season, but I'm not sure what's going to be the future of New York sport for the New York Giants after the season. This is going to be an interesting turn, but yeah. But anyways, that's pretty much the news for New York. But let's talk about some of these games we had. And yes, I'll go ahead. Let's just start with the Thursday Night Football game just happened a few days ago between the 49ers and Seattle Seahawks. Yeah, now I'll say this. The 49ers really, really dominated Seattle. That's for sure. Pretty much throughout most of the game. Yes, although Seattle is making a tremendous comeback with that kick return touchdown by oh, who was it? I think it was Rashawn Jenkins, or no, Laviscus Chenault, by Laviscus Chenault, and um, but and then we made that we made a touchdown drive. Gave it to Kenneth Walker, got the touchdown. We were close. And then I think we're pretty much just sealed at the end was the Geno Smith second interception in the game. Geno Smith didn't have a great night. And now it's probably going to be now concerned whether or not Geno Smith is going to be. Whether or not Geno Smith is going to be the guy the rest of the season. Are we going to consider Sam Howell? I don't think so. I think Geno Smith is still going to be our guy. I think one of the biggest mistakes, I don't think Geno Smith is entirely the whole issue in Seattle. He has games where he can lead a team, but everything else, our run defense has been a problem. But Seattle did make a trade yesterday, actually. We traded for Jaguars defensive tackle. Hold on. Let's see if I... For Roy Robertson Harris for a 2026 sixth-round pick. So hopefully that could at least help us elevate the run defense game because, our defensive line has been pretty much injured. Uchenna Nwosu, although he was back for week 5 against the New York Giants, he immediately went back to IR. Boyan Mafe, although he was in last week as well, but it just felt like our team, unless we're not fully healthy, this team is really going to struggle a lot. I think we still believe in Mike McDaniel, but right now, I think also another big concern is our old line, especially, Stone Forsythe not really being the man we need at right tackle. I'm not sure what we're going to do next. I guess we're probably going to have to put in Jason Peters soon since we signed him to the practice squad not that long ago. And yeah, that is not great. This is this weekend's just been this weekend's just not been great for me. The Dodgers made it to the NLCS, and yeah, but overall, let's see what happens. For now, we'll play the Falcons next week. The Falcons looking like a really good team, so we'll see what happens there. But let's see some other games. The Bears destroyed the Jaguars in London. Doug Pearson is probably going to be probably hottest as ever. And we're going to see what happens after this weekend. If the Jaguars do lose to the Patriots, then there's probably going to be some changes coming up in Jacksonville. But right now, they seem pretty adamant about Pearson and Bulky being there for at least the rest of the season. So likely so. If it's not going to be anytime in the mid-season during the season, then it's probably going to be the end of the season if the Jaguars fail to do anything else. So right now, 1-5. This is just terrible. But Caleb Williams looking like an offensive rookie of the year candidate now. With 4 touchdowns in his game. So that's what the Bears are hoping for. Yes, it did take a while, but I think the Bears are finally back. And in week 8, the Commanders-Bears game is actually going to get flexed to a late afternoon game slot. So people are able to see him more on a national time slot. So that's something that's weird for me to say in 2024. The Chicago Bears and the Washington Commanders looking like a more watchable game than the Eagles and the Cincinnati Bengals. That is, I don't think it feels weird coming out not only my mouth, but it feels like it's weird coming out everybody's mouth just for saying that. But anyways, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers dominated the New Orleans Saints, 51-burger. Eagles still struggle, but still won against the Cleveland Browns. Commanders Ravens look like a great game, but unfortunately, one team had to win. That had to be the Baltimore Ravens. And pretty much we had some other games as well. Let's just talk about a certain other game. The Lions dominated the Dallas Cowboys. Not only got the revenge, they just got the revenge from Week 17 last year, and then some. Talk about a game for the Lions. They destroyed that game, but unfortunately, it did cost them Aiden Hutchinson, who's fibula just like his shin just basically just got splitted up based on how it looks like. He did get surgery, and now he's going to be out for the rest of the season. Apparently, going to take about 6 to 8 months to recover. So we'll wish him fair luck, wish him well, and hope he recovers nicely. But I mean, this game pretty much. I think this shows how the Lions are the team that's going to be finally coming up. This team is looking dominant. This team's looking like this is the team to beat. But anyways, let's since normally I would have my co-stars here for anything. Normally Thomas will probably say that, or Logan will probably have his 2 cents on the Devontae Adams trade. And also, not only that, there's also been news about Hassan Reddick. Oh, yeah. There's also been news about Hassan Reddick. I guess he's now finally to get permission to seek a trade. So there's probably, we'll see what happens to him. I mean, the likely destination could be right now is likely destination we could see right now is probably Detroit since Aiden Hutchinson is out. So Hassan Reddick will likely could likely uh could likely be a candidate for the Lions to trade for. Maybe don't even have to give up that much to do it, but there's been some ideas that Lions fans do want Max Crosby, since Max Crosby did say if he wasn't drafted to the Raiders, he would definitely want to go to the Lions. So, but it's probably going to take some magic to do it. Maybe some very huge haul of picks, maybe a huge haul of picks for the Detroit Lions. But overall, that is overall it. I mean, Mike Williams is also probably going to likely get traded. Not sure where. Could it be the Cowboys? Maybe he goes back to LA. Maybe they just only need to go maybe like a mid-round pick, mid to late round selection, and he's back in LA with Herbert. But anyways, that is overall. That's kind of overall our news so far. The Empire State of Insanities so far, just fantastic. All right, but anyways, let us get started with. Anyway, sorry. Um. Sorry. Let's get started with the pick'ems for this week. It might be a short episode this week, but hey, I'll try to do my best version of a Thomas impression of a Logan impression. But anyways, here we go. These are picks last week. You know what? I'll add Lightning's picks to it. I mean, it's all right. So 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 2, 3, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. All right, so Lightning. Sorry, I forgot to add his score. He was the guest last week, but Lightning he went 11-3 last week. The only predictions he got wrong was or actually, hold on. He got the Giants wrong. He got the Broncos wrong. He got the Cardinals wrong. So, I mean, for the most, and he got the Commanders wrong. Sorry. So he went 10. He went 10-4 this past week. This last week as our guest picker. So he had a better week. Let's say that Lightning did have a better week. Let me. I forgot to share the screen. Excuse me, everybody. My bad. Anyways. All right, here we go. Let me do. There we go. So this is our pick'ems from last. Oh, wait. So this is our pick'ems for this week. This is our records from last week. Logan, who is still in first place with a record of 59-33, is now 9-5. He went 9-5 last week. I went 12-2 this week, but now I am holding with a record of 56-36. And Thomas went 7-7, and now he holds the record of 51-41. Yikes! Yeah, I know. But anyways, wait. I think I got it correct. If If I remember, I think I got the standings correct. Yeah, I got the standings correct. But anyways, but we are here. Let's start with the pick'ems here. Starting with Thursday Night Football. We have the Denver Broncos with Sean Payton going against Cameron Jordan and the New Orleans Saints. If you remember seeing that Thursday night graphic, uh, oh, that is hilarious. But yes, we have that Thursday night graphic. Um, Thursday night football. Sean Payton will going against his former team. The Broncos are currently 3-3. The New Orleans Saints are 2-4. After going 2-0, just lost 4 straight games. The Broncos, who were 0-2, went on a 3-game streak and lost to the LA Chargers this past weekend. Sean Payton going against his former team after getting traded this last from the 2023 offseason. But we are now. But who am I going to choose this week? A lot of people are surprisingly picking the Saints for this game. I get it's at New Orleans, prime time. But you know what? I heard about the master will always beat the student, or the master will still have some things against the student. Yeah, that's going to be it. I am going to pick the Denver Broncos for this matchup. I think Sean Payton will find a way to get uh, Bo Nix some points. I think this is going to be probably somewhat of a low scoring affair, maybe like a 24 to 21 type of game. But we're going to have a rookie battle actually, Bo Nix versus Spencer Rattler here. But I think right now Bo Nix is finally getting his group together. I think the Broncos are finally going to be a team, and I feel like they do have the better defense overall, given the Broncos. Meanwhile, Logan, you know, he is also going to choose the Denver Broncos. I think he's also going with that Sean Payne train. He believes in that as well. Meanwhile, Thomas, hold on, let me see what Thomas has got. I guess this will happen. We are guaranteeing the Broncos a victory here. We believe in Sean Payne. I guess we are guaranteeing the Broncos are going to win here. Honestly, we need to have a record for guaranteed picks. What's our record here? But anyways, on to our next game starting on Sunday at 6:30 in the morning for the people living on the West Coast. We have the final London game of the year between the New England Patriots and the Jacksonville Jaguars. I really want to know what the schedule makers were thinking when this match, like why they picked this matchup. Like I get why the Jaguars were picked since they're gonna have 2 London games no matter what, but I don't understand why of all teams was going to be the Patriots. Oh man. Oh no. But anyways, Drake May, tried his best. But unfortunately, Drake May is going to the best. Meanwhile, the Jaguars, who won back in week 5, just lost this past weekend at London to the Chicago Bears. But I think this time the Jaguars at least got to win. At least got to win one game in London. I just feel like that's like a guaranteed here, and that's why I am going with the Jaguars here for this game. And meanwhile, Logan, um, you know, Logan, known for a known Dolphins fan, very known, Dolphins fan here. Um, you know, he usually tells me he hates the Patriots. He really does, and you know, he doesn't like his AZ East rivals. And I think I know it should be obvious to pick the Jaguars, but guess what? He's picking the Patriots. That's right. And a Dolphins fan decides he's going to think the upset's going to happen. I think it's more for the fact that he probably has beef with Doug Pearson. He thinks Doug Pearson is that bad that the Patriots will win with Drake May. Oh boy, let's see how that one goes. But Thomas, meanwhile, on the other hand, He's not going to pick the upset. Normally, I think this would have been more of his nature, more of his. This would have been probably more of his field there to pick the Jaguars, but to pick the Patriots. But he is actually going to stay level headed here today, and he's going to pick the Jacksonville Jaguars because they at least could win at London. All right, next one, the Seahawks and the Falcons. The Seahawks, who had a game on Thursday, and the Falcons still are dominating during the Kirktober season. This one still could be a fun matchup. It can go either way, and for me, you're thinking, all right, there's no way you're going to continue picking the Seattle Seahawks. There's no way you're still continuing to pick the Seattle Seahawks. You guys, when you're this much of a fan, you just got to believe. We believe in every game that at least we have a fighting chance. And I believe we do. Every game for Seattle, I do believe we have a fighting chance no matter who's the opponent. As a Seahawks fan, we've seen this as well. Like, even though our offense has been mediocre, I feel like this time this could be a game where Geno Smith could actually have time in the pocket to take time to find his receivers and do it. But I feel like this one could be a be a decently good game. But it really depends on who's going to screw up on offense. That's how I see it. I feel like who's going to make the less mistakes. Will it be Kirk Cousins? Will it be Geno Smith? Will it be someone? Who knows? I think it's going to depend who's going to make the less mistakes. And that being said, I'm still going to choose the Seattle Seahawks. I know Kirktober, but I don't know. This could be something the Seahawks could win this game, and we might be bouncing back on their home once again. I feel like this is going to be a crucial game here. But meanwhile, for Logan, he is going to this game. I think I know Kirktober is a thing and everything, but he is also being the Seahawks. I am shocked. He's going to ride with the Seahawks here. I think he believes an upset is coming. He believes that everything's going to happen. All right. But for Thomas, hold on. Just to honor him, I have something for him. That's right. I have a football hat here. But anyways, a football bucket hat. And that being said, he's going to be like, look, the Seahawks, yes, I know. We're losing. We're on a 3-game losing streak. We lost to the Lions and we lost to the Giants, and then we lost to the 49ers tonight. This team just keeps breaking my heart every single time, and I don't know if I should keep doing this or not. I feel like I want to give up, like on the Seahawks. But that being said, I'm still picking the Seahawks. That's right. I'm going to guarantee the Seahawks victory here. And I'm guaranteeing the Seahawks. We are all going to guarantee a Seahawks victory here. And this is going to be insane. Hopefully this doesn't backfire on us in any way, shape, or form. But here we go. Up next, we have the Tennessee Titans going up against the Buffalo Bills. Wait. Going up against the Buffalo Bills, the Tennessee Titans. Although looking like they had a close one against the Colts. Will Levis give us another meme once again. We got Spider-Man. But anyways, the Titans are a team 1-4, but the Buffalo Bills got themselves a great win on the road against the New York Jets in a close game. I think I could see the Titans probably going to use the run game a lot. Could see them use a lot of Pollard in this game to make it maybe a slightly close game, but I think it's just going to be a Bills victory right here. I think they're just so far the better team. No matter what, I think this one's just going to be a game, especially since it's at Buffalo. We'll give the Buffalo Bills some credit here. All right, next one we have Logan. He is also going to take the Buffalo Bills. I think I think he realizes the Bills are just going to be a better team. The Titans are just trash. I think their season is probably over. The season might be tanking. Meanwhile, for Thomas, I'm always nervous for his picks every time. But that being said, we're guaranteeing 3 teams so far this week, and we are going with the he is also going with the Buffalo Bills. That's right. We are guaranteeing a Buffalo Bills victory here. This is insanity so far. Wow. But, anyways, on to the next game. We have the Cincinnati Bengals going against the Cleveland Browns. The Bengals, after a low scoring affair on Sunday Night Football, got themselves a win, moving themselves to 2-4. They could probably have themselves maybe a bounce back schedule to finally come back. But I mean, the Bengals offense are at least going to be the main focal point from going from here on out. Or their defense has just been yuck. I know they only let the Giants score 7. That's really more says about the Giants than really said about the Bengals defense itself. I mean this is again another game where we can see the Bengals probably dominate, and especially on defense could probably see another game where we're thinking, okay, the Bengals defense are coming back, but it's really based on the opponents they play. The Browns, yeah, they're not looking too great. They are now looking like it's going to be their season. And just with that, I think it's pretty simple. I'm going with the Bengals. Danny's also going with the Bengals. And Thomas, he's going to say something. Look, we bounced back. Look, he's going to say something about the Bengals are back. That's what he's going to say. He's going to believe that the Bengals are back. And guess what? The winning streak continues and move themselves to 3-4. And we are guaranteeing a Bengals victory here. There you go. All right. Up next, we have the Houston Texans going to Green Bay to face against the Packers. This one's actually going to be a great game here. I mean, I wish this game was going to be a later game, but fortunately, there's going to be another game coming up later on in the afternoon. But this one's going to be a great game. I'm excited to see what happens here. The battle between the Houston Texans trying to become an upcoming rising team against the Green Bay Packers rising team. So I think this one's going to be a great game. One of the best games, one of the best early morning games of the week. And for that, we and Jordan Love had himself a great game last week. 4 touchdowns. 4 touchdowns. Yes, it was against the Cardinals, but I mean, the Packers are finally looking like they're probably shaping up to the team that we expect them to be going into the season. The Texans are still looking like a still solid team, even though CJ Stroud doesn't look like what we expect from his rookie season, but he's still been playing solid ball. So there's not really like much of a drop off here. So, but anyways, with that being said, I think this is how we do it. I think this one's more of the who's hosting the game. If this was in Houston, I would have picked the Texans. But since at Lambeau, yeah, I am not going to doubt the Packers and Lambeau here. Give me the Green Bay Packers for the win. All right, Logan, my buddy Logan here, he believes in the Strouds. He's saying the Strouds will go all the way and will win this game against the Green Bay 11 Packers here. You know, that talk about he believes in the Strouds. Talk about what a time to be a Texans fan. You were a bonnet the dumps at first, but now you guys are here. What a time! And meanwhile, for Thomas, it looks like Logan's going to be alone for this week, and he is going to choose the Green Bay Packers as well. He believes in the Packers stock. He believes in the Packers. Let's go. All right. The Dolphins and the Colts. The Dolphins, who did they play last week? I don't remember last week. I think they were on a bye, if I remember. Yeah, this week was probably if I were Yeah, they're on a bye. They're coming up from a bye. Tua doesn't look like he's not going to come back for this week's game against the Colts. Meanwhile, the Colts are also having uh some interesting position at the QB where Anthony Richardson might come back this week, or was looking like he might come back this week and is likely going to be his starting position once again. But this game, I think this game might be close. I don't know why. I think the Dolphins, they've got the bye they needed. I mean, Snoop Huntley's most likely going to be the quarterback for this game. But I think with that being said, I think the Colts are still going to win this game. I think with Anthony Richardson or Joe Flacco, I think the Colts are I don't know. I mean, although 3-3, they just haven't look like a serious team at the moment. I feel like this is a game they probably need to win. Maybe if they get them by a blowout, then finally the Colts could at least look like more of a serious team. But with that being said, I uh with that Logan, he I think we would have an AA song for this. Normally, we would have our Give Skylar Another Chance or Fresh Prince Bel Air parody or Not Like Us parody of Skylar Thompson. But since Skylar's not starting, it's gonna be Snoop Huntley. But I guess Logan believes that Snoop Huntley will be him this week. He's going to pick the Dolphins. He's going to ride with his team. He believes in his team. Let's go. All right. Look, Thomas. Give me a second here, folks. Look. Joe Flacco's not playing. I'm playing as Thomas, by the way, folks, if everyone's wondering. But I'm playing as Thomas because he's supposed to be your co-star, and usually what he does, if anyone's listening, he always does his sunglasses. He always has his sunglasses, and talks about pulling an upset pick this week. So, but since I don't have sunglasses, I have I have a bucket hat of a football. So there's that. Take it as you wish. But anyways, I'm gonna play as Thomas, and I'm gonna play it out. All right. He's like, this is what I'll go. We'll be like, look, you guys, Joe Flacco might not play this week. He's probably not going to start this game. And even if he does, even if Joe Flacco some find ways how, the Dolphins have a quarterback. He's going to be elite. And I'm going to tell you this. Put in your stock for Snoop Huntley. That's right. Snoop Huntley and the Miami Dolphins are going to destroy the Indianapolis Colts for the win here. That's right. Put your money on the Dolphins. Put your money on Snoop Huntley stock. Anthony Richardson, he's going to be done. He's going to be cooked. Tara Huntley will look like Lamar Jackson for one game this week. Give me the Dolphins. All right. You're missing my Jamal Adams. well, next time show up. All right, next time show up. But yes, he is going to pick the Miami Dolphins for this game. I guess I'm gonna play as Thomas once again. For the Bills and Titans. And by the way, Jamal Adams, worst safety of all time, worst player of all time. This man cannot get interceptions. This man's only able to get maybe just sacks. This man's just useless. Waste of money, waste of a quarterback, waste of a human being. There you go. That's my piece about Jamal Adams. Happy now, Thomas? Happy? Anyways, Thomas will pick the Miami Dolphins this week. Anyways, now moving on to the game of the week here. The Lions, the 5-1 Lions will go against the Minnesota Vikings here. And oh boy, this game is going to be fun. Sam Darnold's having an amazing season. Jared Goff and the Lions just smacked the Cowboys on live television last week. This is about to be a game here. All right. All right. You know what? Since Thomas is here and he's here, I'm going to do this. Look, you guys. It's been 5 weeks. 5 weeks in a row. Sam Darnold has been nothing but elite. This man has avoided the deaths of Adam Gase and Matt Rule. This man has looking like the best quarterback of all time right now. This man should be an MVP, comeback player of the year, offensive player of the year, everything. I'm telling you, keep buying the Sam Darnold stock for now on because he is him. And I am going to choose the Minnesota Vikings. I'm playing as Thomas, by the way. Give me the Vikings, people, because Sam Darnold is elite. He is him. All right, Thomas is going to pick the Minnesota Vikings, people. He's telling you to keep buying your Sam Darnold stock. He believes in the Sam Darnold stock, everyone. So just keep buying it. But for me, I'm gonna pause my stock and I'm gonna buy Jared Goff, Jared Goff, Jared Goff, Jared Goff, Jared Goff stock. That's right. I am picking the Lions. The Lions just proved to everyone in the world that they might be the team to beat. Yes, the Vikings. They're having a good run right now. They're 5-0, but guess what? I think this one's going to be a very good test for the Minnesota Vikings, and I think the Lions are going to pull every play in the book, and they're going to win. That's right. Give me the Vikings. Sorry, give me the Lions. Sorry, give me the Lions. Give me the Lions. Sorry, I still have the Thomas in me. But anyways, meanwhile, Logan, he isn't that. This is what he's saying. Look, I didn't want to do this, but I think Thomas is right. I think I still got to continue buying Sam Darnold stock. All right, I hate to say this, but Thomas is right. Keep buying the Sam Darnold stock. Logan's gonna pick the Vikings. All right, he is going to pick the Vikings, you guys. All right, looks like I'm the only one picking the Lions this week. All right, up next, the Eagles and the New York Giants. This is Saquon's revenge game, folks. He is coming back to the Big Apple, while the Giants, after a disappointing performance against I still have the Thomas in me. The New York Giants, after having a disappointing game against Cincinnati Bengals, they are still back at home again, going against their former running back in Saquon Barkley. This one's going to be an interesting game here, a division rival game, but I'm going to do it. You guys, this is not even me playing as Thomas. This is just me playing as Sir Random Guy here. Look, the Eagles, there's probably still a good team. It's just Nick Sirianni is probably terrible. But guess what? I think the Giants are going to get the revenge. The Giants are going to get the revenge here. I think the Giants are going to beat the Eagles in some random upset. I don't know why. I don't know how, but it's going to happen. The Giants are somehow going to beat Saquon Barkley, probably in a very low game, maybe like a 14-10 game. And I think the Giants will somehow pull this win. I don't know how to explain it. That's just how it is. Give me the Giants. Anyways, you guys. Meanwhile, Logan, he believes Saquon Barkley bros the shrooms. Meanwhile, Logan, he is going to pick the Eagles. He believes Saquon Barkley is going to run over the Giants D line and take the win over there. Meanwhile, for Thomas, I got to see this. He is actually going to pick the logical decision and actually pick the Eagles. All right, I am going to be alone this week for the Giants and the Lions. What a time to be alive here. Maybe I could dominate. Who knows? But anyways, we have the Las Vegas Raiders going to LA to play against the Rams. The last time the Raiders played against the Rams, it was on the Thursday night game where Baker Mayfield had 2 days to learn the playbook and everything, throw a football with Sean McVay, and he somehow led a game-winning drive there. Remember that in 2022, folks? But this time, I think the Rams are still going to be the team. The Raiders, if you guys remember, the Raiders just traded Devontae Adams. Could this be a good thing? Could this be a bad thing? Who knows? I think the Rams are still a better, well-coached team right here. Give me the Rams. Meanwhile, for Logan, hold on. Logan is also going to choose the LA Rams, and Thomas, we are guaranteeing the Rams victory here. We are guaranteeing the Rams victory, which means the Raiders are somehow going to win this week. There you go. But anyways, on to the next game, the Panthers against the Commanders. At least I know one thing this team has in common. They were both coached by Ron Rivera. But anyways, the Panthers are now 1-5 against the Commanders. All right, I feel like pretty confident on. I feel like we're pretty confident this pick. We're picking the Commanders. All of us are picking the Commanders. I feel like I don't need to go any explanation further. We're picking the Commanders, folks. Jaden Daniels is him. I think that's all we got to say from here. Jaden Daniels is him. Still waiting on the Max Crosby day in Seattle any day now. Dude, I don't think John Schneider is going to do it. I don't think we're going to give up 2 first-round picks to give up Max Crosby. It would be nice. It would be nice to finally have at least a guy on the defense to get us sacks, but unfortunately, it's not going to happen. Anyways, on to the next game. We have a Super Bowl 54 and 58 rematch here between the Kansas City Chiefs and the 49ers. The Kansas City Chiefs, although undefeated, they have not looked like the same Chiefs team. They're still winning games, but this team, meanwhile, the Niners, same thing too. Although they're 3-3, they're now leading the NFC West again. Why did we blow a 3-game lead? Why did we blow a 3-game? I don't know. But anyways, the Kansas City Chiefs have at least offensively have just looked boring. Like they're winning games, but it just doesn't look like the Chiefs team we expect it to be. Like pure dominance, pure everything. But the Niners, again, with injuries, they're still winning games, but they just looked very off as well. With that being said, give me the Kansas City Chiefs for the win here. Okay. Oh, sorry. I was looking at something, and then also I just had, let me actually make. All right. Meanwhile, for Logan, he is gonna pick the Kansas City Chiefs. The Chiefs again proving us otherwise. Proves wrong. Giving the Chiefs for the win. Meanwhile, for Thomas, hopefully this time he did not make a $50 bet. Hopefully Thomas did not make a $50 bet this time against a friend here. And all right, I'm playing as Thomas right now. So here we go. Look. The 49ers defeated the Seahawks. Yes. Yes, they did. Do I want them to keep losing games? Yes. The 49ers, why they gotta exist, I don't know. But anyways, but you know what? I hate the Chiefs more. Give me the Niners. That's right, folks. Thomas is going to choose the San Francisco 49ers. Why? I don't know. I don't know why. I'm assuming he probably made another bet with his friend here. But anyways, yes, Thomas is going to be alone for this one, and he is going to pick the 49ers. All right, on to Sunday Night Football. Lord, didn't the Steelers just play like a couple weeks ago? We have the Pittsburgh Steelers going against the New York Jets, who the New York Jets, again, they require Devontae Adams, but I'm not sure if he's going to play this week or we have to wait till next week to find out. But the Steelers, going off of a very dominant win against the Pittsburgh Steelers, apparently Russell Wilson is taking first team reps, so who knows who's going to be the starting QB this week. It could be Wilson. It could be, and we're going to go against Aaron Rodgers here. So we may have the Rodgers-Wilson Classic Bowl, like we seen when it was Seattle versus Green Bay. This just feels like if this game was existed like 5, maybe 6 years ago with a prime Russell Wilson and prime Aaron Rodgers, this matchup would have been elite. But now it just looks like this matchup would have been this matchup just looks like it's going to be boring. But if I have to choose a team, I am just going to choose the Pittsburgh Steelers. I don't know why. I just think they're going to win, like in some low-scoring way. Maybe TJ Watt just somehow pulls something off, and I just think that's what's going to happen. Meanwhile, for Logan, he is going to choose. Again, I don't know what's with him picking division rivals this week. He just thinks every division rival is going to win this week, and he is going to pick the Jets in a surprising move here. I don't know why. I think he just thinks Devontae Adams will show up to this game and will dominate the Steelers secondary. That's probably my best guess here. All right, for Thomas, I guess based on the title, he says he believes that everything's about New York. Not only for last week, he believes everything's going to be about New York for this week too, and he's also going to pick the New York Jets. I think he believes that Devontae and Aaron will have that connection like in 2021 and 2020 and 2019, 18, and so on and so forth. So, yeah, there's that. All right, and our final last two games, we have ourselves a Monday night doubleheader between we'll start with the Ravens and the Buccaneers. This one's going to be a great one. The Baltimore Ravens coming up of a very impressive victory against the Washington Commanders. Meanwhile, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers coming off of a very huge win against the New Orleans Saints, put a 50 burger on them. Although Baker Mayfield made mistakes, but I think I'll say this: Baker is going to bake. I think that, again, I'm going to say this: if this game was in Baltimore, I would have probably picked the Ravens. But since it's at Tampa, I think this one's going to be Tampa's night. I think Tampa on prime time. I think Baker will sling the ball. This will be like the Monday night game in 2020 between the Browns and Ravens game back in 2020 where Lamar had to use the restroom. I think as long as Lamar doesn't use the restroom, the Buccaneers are going to win here. Meanwhile, for Logan, he believes in Lamar Jackson. He believes in the Ravens team, and he's going to invest in Lamar Jackson stock. He's going to go with the Ravens. Meanwhile, for Thomas, I guess Thomas and I are gonna ride with the Buccaneers. He's gonna believe Baker can bake. Baker's gonna bake, people. Believe that. Say this right here. Baker is gonna bake. All right? That's right. Baker's gonna bake here. And for our final Monday night game, we have the Los Angeles Chargers going against the Arizona Cardinals. And I put this game that said this game's going to be on ESPN Plus. This game's going to be at 6 p.m., by the way. So we're not going to have a 4:30 game, 5:15 game. We're going to have a 5:15 game and a 6 p.m. game. Yeah, this game just feels like I thought this game would be fun. I think this game's going to be boring now. I thought this game would be sneakily good. But I don't know how I feel about this game. The Chargers are probably look like the better team overall, but I could see the Cardinals pulling it off. But I think with that being said, give me the Chargers. I think Justin Herbert finally probably gives himself a good game in the passing game against the Cardinals defense. But meanwhile, for Logan, he's picking an upset here. He is picking the Arizona Cardinals in a trap game here. He believes in the Arizona Cardinals. He believes in some way that the Cardinals are going to win. All right, Thomas. All right, playing as Thomas again, folks. Look, the Chargers, they're probably going to be a good team. You know, they have Justin Herbert, J.K. Dobbins. You know, they're still looking like a decent, solid squad. But and yes. I picked my division rivals as well with the Niners and the Rams. And everything tells me to not pick my division rival in a game like this. But you know what? I think the Cardinals are actually gonna dominate this game. I think Kyler Murray is gonna sling the ball. He's gonna he's gonna think everything's gonna be Call of Duty, and he's gonna dominate. I think that's what's gonna happen. Give me the Cardinals for the win. All right, you heard it here, folks. Thomas is gonna pick the Arizona Cardinals for the win. And these are our pick'ems. We have here are pick'ems here below. This is gonna be this week's pick'ems. I hope you have a good week. This is our record. Logan's still in first. I'm in second. Thomas is in third. What a time to be alive here. But anyways, folks, thank you for watching. I hope you all have a good day. Hope you have a good week. Hopefully we should be back. Hopefully everyone should be back here this week. And I'm not just writing this show here. But anyways, people, peace out and good and have a great week. See ya.